Good morning. As we begin to continue, I want to say welcome back from spring break, everyone. As we continue facials, also that midterm stayed over in the outbox for a couple of days, and that's where I found the midterm. So I'm gonna have to take it and send it back. Got to figure out what this storage thing looks like, but I definitely wanted to share that with you. That was our class update, and we get that together. Let's highlight this area. We are looking at lesson objective number 4, skin types and common skin conditions. And I'm excited about it because Cosmo, we focus a lot of time on hair, but now we get an opportunity to focus on skin, with the next chapter being makeup, and then we're moving to nails. So it's kind of cool learning something new and also hearing your reflections and how it relates to all of the hair knowledge and education you have. We went ahead and did some highlighting areas. Whenever you see these highlighting areas, definitely you want to take it for prep. At the end of the day, these highlight areas should always be a focus of study. You have access to the SEMA, you definitely gotta make sure you have access to these particular areas as well. Okay, so go into your chapter and open up your ebook for that chapter, and you will see some highlighted study areas. So you won't be all over the place. Okay, it's already marked for you and continuously being marked and checked. Let's look at skin type. It's a classification that describes a person's genetic skin attribute. So everybody has a skin type, all right? This type can change over time, which means what was your type at 10 is not your type at 20. It could still be, or it could change. 20 and 50 is two different eras of life, all right? These are 4 skin types: normal, dry, oily, and combination. Okay. Okay. So let's look at skin type guidelines. Um, normal, normal skin, even pore distribution. That's going to be very important. You're not going to see highlighted pores. Going to highlight that area. Very soft, smooth surface. Lacks fine lines or wrinkles. Has no greasy areas or flakiness. Okay. Few blemishes. Now, let me tell you, this is highlighted because this is going to be where you are going to see. You're going to have to compare other skin types to this. You will see this in some of your exam questions. It will probably say something between the difference of normal skin versus dry skin. It'll give you different attributes. As long as you know what normal skin is, anything else that they try to throw at you or add to this, is going to be wrong. So first, please understand normal skin. It is going to be the basis of where those forms of questions are going to come from. Okay. Even pore distribution throughout the skin, very soft, smooth surface, lacks fine lines or wrinkles. Okay. Has no greasy areas or flaky skin. That means it does not waver in any dryness. It does not waver on the oily side. Okay. And very few blemishes. No skin conditions are associated with normal skin, which means they have normal skin. We're not talking acne. We're not talking anything on the severity of dryness, dry skin, overactivity of the oil glands, nothing. Okay. When you look at dry skin, I'm going to highlight it in a different color. Pores are very small or not visible to the naked eye. Skin appears dull and flaky or feels rough, thin, and tight to the touch. Okay? Pores are very small or not visible to the naked eye. Skin appears dull and flaky, feels rough, thin, and tight to the touch. Okay, this is dry skin. You need the pores to be, here's one thing with dry skin, small or not visible to the naked eye. Okay, the pores have to have some type of shape, some type of opening. If the pores are too tight, okay, then there will be no sebum stored in those pores to give the skin its moisture. All right. So pores are very small or not visible to the naked eye. Skin appears dull and flaky, feels rough, thin, and tight to the touch. Here's what we do. Skin dehydrates easily due to poor sebum production. Mm, that's something you need to know. So number one, I'm going to put that in green. Skin dehydrates easily due to poor sebum production. That's it. Sebum production, oil production. The oil glands are not functioning as though they should. Okay, so skin dehydrates easily due to poor sebum production. Accentuated fine lines and wrinkles it may lack elasticity, not related to aging. Okay, so here we go. One, dry skin dehydrates easily due to poor sebum production, which means the oil glands are not producing the way they should. Okay. Accentuated fine lines and wrinkles, which means you will start to see some fine lines and wrinkles, maybe around the eyes, the mouth, and the nose, nasal area. You'll start to see some wrinkles. Okay. May lack elasticity. Okay, not related to aging, may lack elasticity. So the skin can be just conceived as very tight. And here's another thing: when that skin is very tight, it becomes itchy. All right, so you may have an irritation. Now you're incorporating bacteria or something from the hands or nails. So you need to make sure that we're treating dry skin the way it's supposed to be treated. And so here's the definition of it. Here's how it looks. So he's giving you a visual of it. Let's look at oily skin. Excessive lipid production. Okay, let's look at something, make sure we don't have anybody on the other side that's trying to get in. Okay, we're good. We're gonna put oily skin in blue. Okay. It says excessive lipid production. So now we went from not enough oil to a lot of oil. Okay, so it's an overabundance. It's an excessive amount of lipid production. Okay, shiny skin, large pores, skin appears thick and rough. Okay, sometimes has a waxy or yellowish appearance. Got it? So when we look at oily skin, we know that it's the opposite of dry skin. So the pores are not small and tight, but they are actually larger. All right. The larger the pore, the more oil that is going to be produced in those pores. Because the larger the pore, the sebaceous glands, the lipid production said, oh, we can hold more oil. So they continue to produce more oil than average. Okay. So the pore becomes like a house for the oil. The skin can appear thick and rough. All right. And sometimes those areas could be what we call leathery patches or very dark parts of the skin. Sometimes has a waxy or yellowish appearance. All right, waxy or yellowish appearance, especially with the overabundance of that oil. Now, let's look here. It is prone to blackheads. Okay, open comedones. And a lot of people say open and closed comedones because the blackheads have to be white first, which is that initial buildup, and then the longer that they set, they become darker. All right. So prone to blackheads, open comedones. Papules are little bumps like pimples, but not, but have this compaction of oil sweated, of like oil sweat buildup in them. Okay. And pustules. Now we're talking about um, pimples with pus. Okay. Then prone to acne. There's many different grades of acne. Can develop seborrhea. It's a condition triggered by excessive sebum. And now we're talking compact particles on the hair on the scalp. Okay, around the hairline, in different areas of the skin. Compact particle, which means just a buildup. It gives you this waxy buildup on the skin. Combination skin. Let's highlight, and we're going to use purple. All right, let's pause, let our students in. All right. All right, guys, we're back. All righty, y'all. Okay, we're back. And make sure our connections were good. All right, so look, we looked at the different skin types. We also identified if we would see them, what it looks like. Okay, so it's good for you to review normal, dry, oily, and combination skin. Now, that's just a little bit. You want some continued in depth. Definitely make sure that you go in, do a little bit more research. We're going to be there. Also, we have our estheticians where we have more advanced information. But these are the four for you to definitely check out now. Okay. Looking at skin types, you also have highlighted in yellow are determined by how oily or dry the skin is. Okay, or if it's easily inflamed. Notice that I did not put sensitive skin or you don't have sensitive skin up here. Sensitive skin is not a skin type, it's a condition. Okay. It's a condition. Any of these skin types can have sensitive skin, but sensitive skin is not a skin type. Okay, so it's good to make sure you're up to date on all of your information as we go in to prepare ourselves to learn about facials and to really operate in a place, in an aesthetics slash hairstylist place. Okay, let's look at normal skin type. Just going to go a little bit deeper. We've highlighted some areas as well. Normal skin type is not too dry and not too oily. Okay. It is every skin care professional's goal to balance the skin. So you want to balance the skin. The skin should look radiant. All right. Barely visible pores should be a smooth surface. Okay. Here's a term I want you to highlight. I'll Alipedic, alpedic, okay, commonly referred to as dry skin, okay, lacks sufficient lipid activity, lacks oil. So you're gonna see this. Let's look at this picture, figure 1813. You're gonna see this. Okay, if you continue to have dry skin and you do not treat it, the skin, look at how dry it is. It can crack. Okay, and you're always developing this new skin. So, can you think of this one top layer of dry skin, and then you have other layers that are being produced 24/7? Okay, we have layers of skin that's being produced and repaired 24/7. So, left untreated, this begins to crack and lift up, and you see you have these flakes. All right. So, you really got to make sure you take care of dry skin and don't let it get too bad, but you need to have a treatment plan for dry skin. Oily skin, pores may be clogged. This is where you're going to see the blackheads. They have to be cleaned, removed, almost like a detox out of the skin. Because the longer they sit, the more comfortable they become. The longer they sit, they will start to expand that pore, and now you have larger pores, and you can see this on a person's skin where the pores are supposed to be barely visible. All right, so you see this oily skin, see the pores. Okay. Clogged pores, open and closed comedones, and pustules. Pustules are going to be pimples with pus. So you want to make sure that you really treat the skin. You don't want buildup of oily skin on the surface because that oil swelling dirt can cause acne. You already have the overproductivity of the oil gland, so that's going to be an issue. Acne is going to feed through oil. Okay, acne is going to feed through oil, and as we touch it or we don't have a facial routine, we add bacteria. So now we have inflammation. You may can have infection in that area. Now we have cystic acne, and so you need to make sure when we are discussing oily skin, it is to me one of the most important ones because so many things could happen to oily skin. There are 4 grades of acne, okay, and acne has been that thing to kind of set people off away. They give shame or embarrassed about how they look when it comes to acne. You could be an adult, never had acne as a teenager at all, but once you hit adulthood, you started getting acne. It happens. Once you hit a certain age, you started getting acne. Okay, it happens. All right. And acne, most commonly associated with oily skin, although it can present on all skin types. Yes, acne can be on all skin types, but you're going to see it the most on oily skin. Let's look at a comedo. Okay, a comedo is a non-inflamed buildup of cells, sebum, and other debris inside follicles, which means it is not a pus, it is not a pimple, it is not a pustule. Okay, so you don't have any pus or anything with it, but it's like you see it like a raised bump on the skin. Okay, and then there's a compaction of oil underneath. You can feel it, and a lot of times if you just take your extractor pen and just press, you'll see that the oil, the comedone, whitehead will start to come up. All right. When we look at blackhead, it's a yellow solid patterned follicle, okay, um, filled with keratin and sebum. So the things that it builds the skin and it has oil, okay. When open and exposed to oxygen, it becomes dark. All right. Um, a whitehead can be considered like a bump, just like I said, but it has that follicle compaction underneath, and you may have to do an extraction or just a fine extractor pen and boom, have it come out. All right. Combination skin can have a series of them both. All right. Combination skin, most of the time you have around perimeter. Let's highlight combination skin in yellow. Okay. It's a condition. It's a common skin type that has a combination of different skin types. So it is oily and dry. Just said that. Okay. Should be treated. Every area should be treated. All right. So you can't just say I'm gonna treat it with this all over. That means you're neglecting the other part of the skin. Okay. We look at this, we break this up into the T zone, and T zone it includes the forehead, nose, and chin. Okay. Those areas, look at that. The client may have an overproduction of oil. So the forehead, nose, chin, um, just straight across here, it can be oily. Okay. And the dry skin can be around the perimeter, around the side of the face. All right. The cheekbones and things like that, that would be dry. Okay. So that's how you know individuals that have combination skin. It's oily in the middle and then it is drier around the sides. Okay. So I want everybody to notate that. Let's see if we have anybody coming in. All right, as you come in with continuing skin conditions, let's look at skin conditions too. As I stated before, skin conditions, one of them would be sensitive skin. So they're highlighted many times here. I have it highlighted in yellow and in blue. It says many internal and external factors affect the skin's condition. All right, let's look at that in yellow. That's something to refer back to. And we look at diet, stress, poor lifestyle choices, hormones, aging, vitamin deficiencies, pollution, poor skin hygiene, and UV exposure all play a part in our health, which in turn is inflicted in our skin's appearance. All right. So, all that we do or have going on daily, it is a reflection of our skin. You're going to see it come out of our skin. People used to say, you are what you eat. You literally are what you eat. Okay. And so, eating good stuff comes out good. good things coming out to your body. Okay, eating bad stuff, you can see the results in your skin and other parts of the body. All right, being aware of what can affect the skin helps you determine why a client may be experiencing skin problems. Okay, so being aware of what can affect the skin helps you determine why a client may be experiencing skin problems. It says some of the most common skin conditions are dehydration, hyperpigmentation, sensitized skin, adult acne, extrinsic aging caused by sun exposure and the environment, and problems related to hormonal influences. So, let's look at this. These are common skin conditions. This is what we're going to see when we do these consultations and we look and the client say, oh, well, can I, when I come to get my service, can I also come get a facial as well? All right. Dehydration, lack of water, lack of oil for the skin, lack of water. Okay. Dehydration, lack of water. Hyperpigmentation. This is what people deal with. Hyperpigmentation is going to be dark spots. Hyperpigmentation. Okay. Sensitized skin. That's sensitive skin. Sensitive skin. Adult acne, as I just stated before, sometimes you never go through acne or have anything in high school. You're 2021. You're young adolescent. But soon as you hit adulthood, you'll get over in those 20s and 30s. That's when you start to develop acne, and it's called adult acne. During the pandemic, we had mask acne, okay, which was a new term, mask acne, because they got it from the mask. The mask was supposed to be disposable every day, but wearing that mask just continued bacteria, and those particular areas got dark, they became sensitive. Some people had outbreaks, bumps in those areas, and it's called mask acne because they kept wearing the dirty mask. The mask was dirty. So, and these were the masks that people want got specialty made, with their favorite football teams and stuff like that on. But you really needed, what really helped you the most was the disposable mask that you change daily, you know. Um, and then there's extrinsic aging. Extrinsic aging is intrinsic and extrinsic. Um, Extrinsic, you can look at external things that we do to our skin that cause it to age. Okay, so the things that we do, things that we're responsible for doing, smoking, alcohol intake, whether it's tobacco intake, alcohol intake, um, not really caring for our skin, being around people who smoke, that's bad for our skin. We call it smoker skin. Um, Sun exposure. Okay, so those sunburns, and sometimes we could be around the skin in the sun too long, and it causes our skin to have issues, and the environment. Okay, so things that are going on in our everyday environment can cause our skin to age. All right. And problems related to hormones. You're looking at individuals that have pregnancy. So you're looking at reproductive system. You're looking at the endocrine system. That's the hormonal system. You're also looking at different functions when it comes to what we eat and how our body processes what we eat. So certain foods that cause us to have issues with our skin. All of that are great components. So when we're doing an analysis consultation, we always want to reference these things down here in the yellow. Okay, how much water did you drink? How long have you had that pigmentation issue? Do you consider your skin sensitive? Do you irritate at the drop of this, or is your skin tough? What age did you start to see acne? And just asking them, just particular questions. Yeah, just asking them just particular questions and seeing what they come up with. This is also being recorded for those that are just coming on. It's been recording from the top of the class, so if you missed something, we'll go back in. Let's look at facial treatments and care products before we go over to. Um, oh, I do want to look at cleansers, and then I want to go over to some of our activities. Facial treatment and care products. Facial treatment is the actual facial. Okay. Facial treatment should be designed for every skin type of condition. So everybody's not going to get the same type of facial, but based on what's going on with their skin, um, this is the type of facial that we're going to do. You make sure that you're going to choose products that are effective products to help achieve the client's healthy and balanced skin. So every product is not going to be used on the same client. Okay. Got to have variation. It says most skincare products can be grouped into the following main categories: cleansers, we're talking about products, cleansers, moisturizers, serums and ampules, okay, mask and disincrustation products, exfoliants, and sun protection. Before we move into those, let's give just a quick look. Cleansers are used, of course, to remove the oil, sweat, and dirt buildup off of the body, okay, off of the face. We use cleansers every day. We have detergents, body wash, we have soap, okay, and so we use cleansers every day. All right. And then you have moisturizers. Okay. Moisturizers. Moisturizers help hydrate the skin. Okay. After a facial treatment, you can mix moisturizers with serums to have a great impact, like a double dose at one time. And you can also mix it with sunscreen. So you can pull those three together in one. Then you have serums and ampules, which based on what's going on with the client's skin, this is where you will choose the serums to go with that skin to treat it. Okay. So if someone has dry skin, I will probably have a vitamin E, or so we'll just say someone has dark spots, I probably have a vitamin C serum, hyaluronic serum. Someone is aging, I probably have a vitamin E, hyaluronic serum. Um, and then, of course, there's overnight serums and creams and things of that nature. But when it comes to serums and ampules, they pump up our products. They make our products even more better. But it's like a direct treatment for the skin throughout the facial service. Okay. Then you have masks. Masks treat the skin type. So this is why we got to know the skin type before we do a facial, because you have to build the products to go with that. So there are masks that cater to aging skin. They cater to oily skin. They cater to dry skin, and you can use masks for normal skin combination simply because you want to help maintain beautiful skin. The goal is to get everybody on a healthy, balanced plan, to get everybody as close to normal skin as possible. Then you have disincrustation products. Now, disincrustation products, let me tell you about disincrustation. This is where we go in and help remove dead skin cells. So, disincrustation products are going to fall within our acids like chemical peels and enzymes. Okay, so disincrustation products. Most of the time, we are not using disincrustation products on everybody. Okay, we'll use just a regular exfoliant. All right, but it seems to be one of those things that's very popular. Exfoliants, um, that it helps remove dead skin cells, and so you have exfoliants in many different textures. I do like a fine texture, so the grains do not cut the skin. The granules do not cut the skin, so it needed to be a small. Exfoliants also could come in chemical and also in mechanical, so you can use a machine as an exfoliant as well. And then sun protection. So, of course, we're talking sunscreen. No particular person or people, um, no particular type of people, all right, can have sunburn or does not sunburn. Everybody must have sunscreen from every Fitzpatrick. So we're talking from light skin to dark skin. We're talking, if you want to talk culture, European to African Americans to Indians to Hispanics. Everybody must have sunscreen. Okay, it doesn't matter how much melanin is in your skin. Everybody must have sunscreen. Let's look at our cautions when it comes to fragrances and preservative. When you want to choose products, and you don't want to choose when you want to choose products based off what they have to benefit the skin. We do not choose products based on how good they smell. Okay, because those fragrances can really agitate the skin and cause us to have an issue with the skin. So remember that it doesn't matter how it smells. Some people like to get peachy and berries and all this and put it on their skin. Their skin goes, "What is that?" Those are fragrances. Those are artificial fragrances that are inside those bottles, and that chemical irritates people's skin. So please make sure that you're not making a waste choice, a haste choice on products because you like the way it smells. Okay. Fragrances and some preservatives and chemical sunscreen ingredients are among the most common allergens. Okay, so you got to make sure that when you're doing analysis and things like that, you are talking about what they're allergic to. You're talking about what they're allergic to. You're also talking about some aspects that choosing products that do not have allergens in it. Okay, choosing products that do not have the allergens in it, which means you got to make sure you're choosing a sunscreen that does not have a lot of chemicals that irritate the skin. Preservative help preserve the products. They help preserve the longevity of the products. But you got to research preservatives. You got to make sure they're preservatives that don't irritate the skin as well, and of course, reduce fragrances. Okay, coming back. Okay, so let's look at here. When we are definitely using products and chemicals, we want to learn about our patch test and predisposition test. Again, as you, we're going to put it in purple this time. If a client is coming in for the product or chemical, using chemicals for the first time, especially if you're doing anything chemical related like acid pills, we call them AKA chemical pills, relaxers, hair color, especially hair color. You got to do a patch test first to make sure the clients are not allergic to the ingredients. When it comes to hair color, a lot of clients are allergic to the ammonia alternatives in ingredients, okay, in hair color, in the actual packaged hair color. So once the ammonia ingredient and developer, the hydrogen peroxide mixed together, um, it starts the hair coloring process. Those chemical components, many people are allergic to. You may see redness, swelling, things of that nature, and sometimes they see it a lot in darker colors. We look at the patch test. You do the patch test in the fold, or take the chemical, you do it in the fold of the elbow or behind the ear, fold of the elbow or behind the ear. Okay. I really want us to look at this because there are different types of cleansers. Okay. Different types of cleansers. Cleansers clean the surface of the skin. I love cleansers. This is the beginning of your facial treatments. Okay. Um, they come in foam cleansers, cleansing cream, lotions, milk. Also, recently, the estheticians were introduced to cleansing oils. Okay, cleansing oils. So there's cleansers that come in all capacities. Okay. Um, Cleansers are not supposed to dry the skin out. Okay, they're going to clean the skin thoroughly. It's going to help remove that top layer of dead skin cells and things that are impacted from the environment on top of the skin. It is it is not strange that people do double cleansing in facial, which means they're going to do one cleanser, and some people say, okay, time to go to the next thing. But no, you have some people that require double or triple cleansers. Why? Because they may have a lot of oil backup, they may have a lot of dirt, they may have wrinkly skin that has oil, sweat, and dirt in folded in those wrinkles. You may have someone that wears a lot of makeup. Okay, and so now that makeup is sitting over in the pores, so we get the surface off. Then you got to make sure the steamer's on to really push whatever's in the pores up. So this is where that double or triple cleanser comes in. You got to make sure the skin is clean before you get started. Okay, so here's a different type of cleansers, the foaming cleansers, and it kind of tells you when to use them. Okay, cream or gel consistency with surfactants. Those are the detergents, okay? Lightweight foam created when massaged on damp skin. Formulations available for normal to combination and oily skin types and acne prone. So really combination, you can do it for normal, but I see it as a lot of combination to oily and acne prone skin. Okay, so this is the foam. It's lightweight. It can hit those pores. It can start really pulling from the pore area. I definitely can see why acne prone skin or oily skin will love to have a foam cleanser. A cleansing cream, okay? We normally would have cleansing creams that could be a little thicker, rich water and oil balance, okay? Used primarily to dissolve makeup, so it's like cold cream removing makeup, and dirt suitable for very dry and mature skin. So this is going to be good for our older aging skin and also dry skin. Okay. Cleansing lotion, light emulsion, suitable for normal to dry skin types, does not strip skin's natural oil or pH balance. So cleansing lotions are normally what you would see in in the stores. Okay. When you're going to just say you want to go and just you go into the store, you pull off, and it says a cleansing cream, and it has a little pump. That's like a cleansing lotion. The cleansing creams are going to come in a jar, and cleansing lotion is going to come in a container with a little pump. Okay, cleansing the cleansing lotion. Okay, light emulsion suitable for normal to dry skin, does not strip. This is normally what I see a lot of people. You go into any of your um, large stores, you're going to see cleansing lotion. You will not see as much cleansing cream, but you'll see cleansing lotion. Cleansing creams, think about what your parents used to use back in the day. Noxema, that's a cleansing cream. And then, of course, we have Queen Helene. Most beauty schools use that to start off with our students. But cleansing cream and cleansing lotion, one is thicker, one is lighter. Okay, one is in a jar, and the other one has a pump. Cleansing milk, non-foaming lotion cleanser. Okay, it's even lighter than the lotion. Okay, cleanses dry and sensitive skin types, removes makeup, can be formulated for specific skin types or conditions. So you can make it for different things that are going on with the skin. Cleansing oil, as I stated, my students just learned about that. Suitable for all skin types, contains beneficial oils that break down makeup, dirt, excess sebum, and pollutants. Okay, so a lot of times, cleansing oil can be used in the hair removal chapter. Hair removal, we use it a lot in waxing. So let's see. And then we have cleansing water. Okay, micellar water, cleansing water. Okay, made of microscopic oil molecules. Okay, suspended in purified water, cleanses, tones, and conditions skin, formulated for all skin types. This is micellar water. Most of the time, you see that you can get it at any of your low budget stores like Dollar General, Walmart's, things of that nature. Okay, micellar water. And it's good to have micellar water around. It is your very easy cleanser, but it does what it says it does. It removes the makeup and tries to remove, gives tone to the skin and also condition. So it's like a prep that can be used on the skin. I would love to use the cleansing water before a makeup service. So it's cleansing water. It's going to do a 3-in-1 type thing. It's going to tone, cleanse, tone, moisturize, but also you're able to use additional toner and moisturizers and serums after it. So it's like a easy, one of the most easiest types of cleansers to use because mainly we just put it on a pad and we wipe on the face, or you can spray on the face. Okay. When we look at aromatherapy, essential oils, and things of that nature, you can customize these products with aromatherapy and essential oils. You also can customize your facials with aromatherapy and essential oils, okay? Because these essential oils, they do different things and they have so many benefits for the skin, from the face and the entire body. When I make skincare products, I'm using nothing but essential oils and aromatherapy. I use it for my benefits to give my products the benefits, but also if I want a certain scent, I'm going to use particular essential oils as well. I'm not going to go to fragrance. Let's highlight, because this is going to be an important area, bookmarking this page. I do want you to review using essential oils such as lemon, verbena, lavender, and rose is a frequent practice in facial skincare. Let me tell you what rose does. It really hydrates the skin, but also it maintains the youth of the skin, which means it helps smooth the skin, soothe the skin if anything is hurting, such as pain from waxing, or it'll help soothe the skin, calm the skin down. Okay, but rose water is one of those things that is made from rose petals. Then you have rose essential oil. All of it is good toning and it tightens the skin. So rose added to any of your any of your facial products are going to be amazing. And it says many essential oils are also used for aromatherapy, and they have aromatherapy facials, which means you'll do a traditional facial, but when it comes to your facial massage, you're going to include the aromatherapy. So mainly you'll have your essential oils, and you will have a mix. You can create it, you know what you want. Look at the benefits of the essential oils and then see what your client needs, and that's what you use. Your essential oils will need a carrier, which means we don't put essential oils right on the face. We add it to additional oils, okay? Ingredients for aromatherapy. Always use organic essential oils that you and use them sparingly. Okay, they don't have to be used all the time. If you see something that says essential oils in the store and you want to purchase it, it looks like a cheap price or whatever. I don't care what the price is; it ranges in prices. But I will always look at if it's in a box and it's being sold. Look at the ingredients. Okay, it should be nothing but that essential oil in the ingredients. So one moment. All right. Let's do a self reading of this passage while I talk to a student. All right. And so, as you had the time to read this particular paragraph, let me put the rest of it in yellow as well. Never use pure, undiluted essential oils on the skin. So, as I stated before, we got some people in the waiting room. Hold on. Okay. So, when it comes to essential oil, hey guys, I my big computer kind of went off, but I am back. Hold on, let me pull up our I'm on my phone now. Let me pull up our lesson again. Okay, hold on one moment. So yeah, so introducing essential oils, use them for great benefits. Aromatherapy, we already use them for setting the mold in the classroom, in the treatment room, but also using them now in benefits of facials. You know, they have amazing benefits. That's what we're going to look at now is the essential oils. I'm almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. So hold one moment. We got about 30 more minutes. I do want to make sure that we get through this. Where were we? Categories. Yeah, we were skincare products. All right. Okay, so here we go. We're back. Um, Another device, same lesson. Okay. Page 752. I really, for you guys that are coming on, please make sure you go over the cleansers. We just went over cleansers. Now we're on essential oils, okay, and aromatherapy. If you get into this is a great holistic, this is a great organic way to saying, hey, I want to do facials, but you're offering something different, okay? Um, I use essential oils for my fragrance, but I also use them and they have great benefits for the skin, okay? And especially want clients to come in and be relaxed and things of that nature. So to really think about aromatherapy and incorporate it in your as a cosmetologist. So we were here. It's always use organic essential oils and use them sparsely. When I say about organic, making sure there's nothing else added in the ingredient list. Okay, if someone is telling me that they have tea tree in the ingredient list, it should be one thing: tea tree. Okay, it should not be seven other things or 10 other things. I'm not purchasing that because it is not going to be authentic, organic tea tree. All right. So never use pure undiluted essential oils on the skin. All right. We never use it straight out the little container on the skin. It's so strong it will burn the skin. Some people's skin, based on their skin type, they can take it, and some people are like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to take it. Okay. It'll give like a little irritation or a skin burn. You must dilute this with a carrier oil. So you have your olive oil, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil. So you got to have an oil. Then you can add your essential oil drops to, and it still will be as effective. You just not cannot use the essential oils on the skin by itself. So it says never use pure undiluted essential oils on the skin as they may cause adverse reactions, okay? Including moderate to severe skin irritation. So can't do that, okay? And burning, okay? Instead, use essential oils pre-blended with carrier oils such as grapeseed extract or sweet almond oil, okay? Avoid applying essential oils on sensitive skin. So those individuals that have sensitive skin, I probably would not be using essential oils on them. So being cautious about that, okay? Those individuals using having sensitive skin, I'm gonna try to make sure their skin has no fragrance, no nothing, as clean as possible. Okay. Proper use of essential oils and aromatherapy requires advanced education. And before using essential oils or aromatherapy, please check with your state board. Our state board is fine. We are within our practices when we cultivate it to our treatment of facials. Okay. We look at moisturizers, and here's the thing: no two moisturizers are built the same. But I do like light, fluffy white moisturizers. That's me. I love it. Light and fluffy. Okay. I don't like heavy. Your clients are not gonna like heavy moisturizers as well, because if they have just had a facial, if they feel so light and airy, then here comes something at the end that feels heavy. They're going to want that off of their face. All right. So moisturizers. Okay. And let's see. I'm trying to see how to highlight it on the phone. I may just leave it alone. All right. So moisturizers are products, all right, that help increase the moisture content of the skin. You got to have a moisturizer. Sometimes people are just going to use a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. Sometimes that's all they're going to need. All right. They want a quick, fast service. They just want a quick cleanse, no treatment, no extractions, just a moisturizer. That's okay. Okay. Since moisturizers are products that help increase the moisture content of the skin surface, and it helps diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So you want a moisturizer because it has a double duty. It's going to help bring hydration, lock in hydration for the skin, and it's going to help in those clients that appear to be aging. It's almost like helps reverse those fine lines, and it works to help keep the wrinkles, keep the skin from being saggy. Okay, so when the skin is dry, and when the skin is oiled, the skin can really be wore out. You can get a lot of creases in between the skin, and that's what we call sagging skin. And also, that regenerates with wrinkles as well. So, we want to keep the skin hydrated. This is why you have night creams that look like moisturizers, okay? And they always said mix, or you have oils and serums that you mix with moisturizers because it hydrates, it regenerates the skin, and it's going to help prevent aging skin issues that happen with aging skin, such as wrinkles. All right, so now we're talking about the best moisturizers. Let's look here. It says these ingredients may include soothing agents for sensitive skin. So moisturizers, I've told you, here they go again. It soothes, okay? Has alpha hydroxy acid, so it helps soothe, and it is a component to help with acne, okay? Or it has peptides for aging, so it's going to strengthen the skin. Or it may have sunscreens in it where it blocks the harmful wet rays. So moisturizers are amazing, and everybody should be using a moisturizer. Okay, everybody should be using a moisturizer. It says oily skin moisturizers are most often in lotion form. So it's gonna be cream. It's gonna be creamy. Gonna be in lotion form. Like I told you, one thing between a cream and a lotion. Some creams are in containers, and lotions are in pumps. Okay. So oily skin moisturizers, you'll probably find that in pumps. Okay. Someone was calling. And then when you look at dry skin moisturizers often oil-based moisturizers, you can find them in, your jars. So that's going to be a big difference. But dry skin moisturizers are going to have an oil-based component, and oily skin moisturizers are going to be a lotion form. It's going to have small amounts of emollient, which is like a oil fat ingredient, just a very small amount. Okay. Oily skin, you're not gonna need extra oil on top of that. All right. And so you just this oil, this moisturizer for oily skin should be very, very light. Very, very light. Okay. Now, as you look at focus on day moisturizers, treatment creams. Now we have moisturizers that are focused on what's going on with the skin. Okay. Moisturizers that are focused with what's going on with the skin. We have vitamin base moisturizer. So now it gives more life to the skin, vitamin base, vitamin C, different things like that that's going to help with the hyperpigmentation, dark spots of the skin. Now we have our night moisturizers that help preserve the skin as we sleep. Day moisturizers are going to help protect the skin against sun rays and just the particles. Is where we work in a warehouse, we work outside in construction. Whatever you do, the day moisturizers just help keep the day off of the skin. You may have heard people say you got your day clothes on, which means the clothes you had on all day. Sometimes we come into our homes and we have the day on our face, which is everything from the oxygen, different environments we've been in. So those deposits, you've been around somebody smoking, all of those deposits are sitting on the skin. So some people say, oh, I will put on a day cream or have a midday cleansing service for my face simply because I want to kind of remove all that stuff off of my face, prevent it from just sitting on the skin. When we look at serums and ampules, um, a part of your treatment plan when we talk about facials, when we come down to the last three products that we put on the face, is normally serums, moisturizers, and then sunscreens. As I have said before in the beginning of today's class, you would normally see these, separate, okay? But they're so light, they can be used together to make like one 3-in-1 power punch, okay? Especially if you're minimized for time. But serums are for treatment areas as well. Serums and ampules. Ampules are little things you crack open and use on the skin. Estamax has a lot of ampules, has a lot of serums, and serums are for targeted areas of improvement. Dry skin, dark under eyes, also you're dealing with maybe some pimples, or you have just a different things going on with the skin when it comes to pigmentation. So these serums and can work throughout the day. I do like to see them in morning routines and night routines as well. They have a higher concentration of products, which means it's a double dose, a triple dose of the cleansing of the facial. The facial cleansing is just average, but the serums really carry the punch to treat those things that are going on with the skin. Okay, so it's a concentrated dose. That means you don't use a lot. You can use a little bit and still get the power. Okay. They are applied under a moisturizer. All right. Moisturizer and sunscreen. What I like to do, I like to do my serum, and if I feel like this client needs more treatment, I'm gonna put my serum on. I'll put my mask on top of that. Okay, or I put my serum on first, then I do my massage cream. Guess what? The serum is the first thing that pushes into the pores. Soon as I put something on top of it, the skin is going to start to receive what that heaviness of that product. And so it's going to pull the serum into the pores. The serum is going to go into the places where it needs it the most first. All right. So this is why the serum has that double duty, because it has a double punch to go in and get the job done. So you will see a lot of serums for dark spots. You'll see a lot of serums for aging wrinkles. You'll see a lot of serums that are overnight. Serums for dry skin, serums for all kinds, serums for combination skin. Whatever is going on with someone's skin, there's always a serum for it. Just like there are serums for scalp. Some people say we got scalp drops over here for this, we got scalp drops over there for that. So at the end of the day, you would definitely have to make sure you have serums for all skin types. It's like one of the necessities that you got to make sure you have. When we talk about ampules, so serums are packed in a pump. Ampules are more concentrated and they're in small seals. So you pretty much break that seal and use it directly on the skin. Okay, I love ampules. Of course, we have masks. There are so many different types of masks. Some of the benefits of masks: it exfoliate, it tones, it comes in gel, it comes in clays. For oily skin, I always try to do a clay mask. For acne skin, I do a sulfur mask. For oily skin, I may do a gel mask or a sheet mask as well. Dry skin, a cream or a gel or sheet. So based on what's going on with the skin, you'll choose the mask. You want it to tighten, you want it to detox, you want it to nourish the skin. There's a type of mask for all of that. Cream masks are humectant, so that's going to be superior for Dry skin is water binding. And so if this person does not drink water, you know this skin lacks water, cream masks are going to be amazing. It won't dry up like clay masks, so it is just going to be very hydrating for the skin. So very good for the skin. Then you have gel masks. Gel masks also will fall into what we call the modern day, go to Estamax, the jelly mask, okay? Very hydrating for the skin. You can get them in all types for skin conditions and different treatments of the skin. Um, these new masks, even moving on to Korean skincare, can come into powder. Then you just add water to them, or they could come in sheet as well. Let's look at sheet masks, single package or freeze dried masks. And I do like freeze dried masks where they take it and you just have to have moisture. They just dip the sheet of mask is hard, like a sheet of paper, and you dip it into water and then you place it on the face, or you'll dampen the face and then put the mask on top and continue to damp it with a sponge so it adheres to the face. Those can be very expensive as well, but they have great benefits to the skin. Okay, has great benefits to the skin. It delivers collagen. It delivers pigmentation components of vitamin C, so hyaluronic acids. It hydrates. Okay, so I love sheet masks as well. It helps with the wrinkles. So all this amazing. Those are sheet masks. They do have freeze dried sheet masks. We need to try those also. Clay based masks. Um, it will help minimize large pores and also soak up all the dirt or debris out of those pores. This particular mask is really hard. Okay. Seaweed mask, arginine mask. There's seaweed mask. Um, Sometimes it comes in powder form. You mix them with water. It can be used as a treatment. It can be rubbery. Now, Estamax, one of the companies I just been talking about, they do have seaweed mask as well. So it's not so much a jelly form, but a rubber form. It absorbs excess sebum and it can be used as a treatment for dark spots on the skin and anti-aging. Okay. Please note the ingredients in seaweed masks. Clients may be allergic to shellfish, and if they are allergic to shellfish, they cannot get this particular mask. Okay. There's another one that I want you to look at, paraffin mask. So it really helps with dry, dehydrated skin. So it's actually going to be that moisture component. That moisture component is going to be sucked into their skin. So as soon as it hits air, that paraffin starts to settle. 9 times out of 10, you will cover the paraffin area with a heat component. So it's like a facial heat mask that will really push that moisture from the paraffin into the skin, thus preserving the skin and dry skin going away. But that is a treatment, doesn't go away for good. That is a continual treatment of the skin. I love the gauze. The gauze is used before the jelly. I like the gauze before the paraffin. The gauze is going to help this mask from running everywhere, okay? And when it's time for removal, you pull the gauze and pull it up. And sometimes when you're doing jelly and when you're doing other masks, it's hard and you're just picking up different pieces. It can be hard to remove that mask. So I love a gamage mask as well. Disincrustation products, as I talked about before, these mainly the easiest disincrustation formula, y'all, is going to be baking soda and water. Okay, you can go on Amazon and purchase a disincrustation solution for like $30, $40. But baking soda and water is your old school traditional disincrustation solution. Okay. All right. So it helps get rid of trapped sebum, trapped oil that's underneath the skin. Okay. And we call that sometimes milia. It may have the little bumps, but the oil is there. Okay. And it's underneath the skin. What happens? This incrustation solution goes on the skin. Okay, and it goes in to kind of soften. You will go behind with like a high frequency or galvanic treatment. It's mainly used for galvanic machines, and it helps get those dead skin cells off the skin. It helps repair the skin faster, and so whatever's underneath the skin, let me tell you, is coming up. So don't do this before a wedding, your prom, or a very special day where you're gonna be taking pictures, because you're gonna see it immediately. You'll see like a day or so. You'll think you're having breakage. Say, I've got a lot of bumps, but it's really what was underneath that the disincrustation solution had brought it to the surface. After this shedding process, you're going to see the skin look amazing. So this is why we also associate disincrustation solutions with chemical peels, because after a while, after a couple of days, after a week or so, you're going to see some amazing skin, new, amazing, illuminating skin. Okay, and whatever's underneath is coming up to the surface. We look at exfoliants. It reduces clogged pores and skin oiliness, promotes skin smoothness, increases moisture content and hydration, reduces hyperpigmentation because it removes old dead skin cells, decreases uneven skin. That's amazing. Speeds up cell turnover. And so it allows the skin to repair itself continuously faster, and better penetration of treatment creams and products. Usually in the facial treatment, you're going to do facial cleanser, and then we will move to exfoliant. So we cleanse the surface, see what's going on, double cleanse if we need to, triple cleanse if we need to. Analyze the skin under the microscope, and we'll go in and say, let's do the exfoliator. The exfoliator gets everything out the way so the other products won't have a problem treating the skin. If you do not do the exfoliator, you're really putting the facial products and you're just wrapping and pushing around dead skin cells. Okay, so it's not a benefit to the client. You need the exfoliator to remove all of that off. There are three types of exfoliator. Okay, let's look at mechanical exfoliator. Okay, a mechanical exfoliator is like a brush, ultrasonic, or you're talking about microdermabrasion machine. Okay, so it's a machine that, like a lawnmower, goes across the skin and gets rid of the old dead skin cells. Your skin looks amazing afterwards. I just had one. Okay. Microdermabrasion. This explains it. Please make sure you highlight. Once my computer is charged up, I am going to have the opportunity to go back and highlight this page. I'm going to bookmark it for now. But please make sure you understand the microdermabrasion. It's an advanced exfoliation treatment involving a microdermabrasion machine. It can be handheld, okay? It loosens and removes dead skin cells. You can use it that with crystals or crystal free. I prefer, and what's popular today is crystal free, okay? The crystals used to go up into people's noses, all right, and they were like kind of sharp, and so we use crystal free. All right, it helps remove dead skin cells, skin rough. A lot of times, many individuals don't need enzyme or chemical peel. They could really use a microdermabrasion. Okay, help get rid of some of their old dead skin cells. Create a facial treatment. Most of your clients, especially if they're people of color, are going to need an microdermabrasion. Okay, so it's a crystal-free microdermabrasion. And here, figure 1825. This is the microdermabrasion that they're doing on the skin. The skin must be really, really dry. You have sometimes they've used alcohol or acetone to really dry the skin out. You got to make sure that there's no oil components at all. And then we'll go across the skin and pull up all the dead skin cells and things out of the pores. Amazing. Cannot live without it. Here's the hydrobrasion. Okay. They call it the hydrofacial. So really, it's a very expensive machine. It's doing the same thing, but as it's going across, it's delivering vitamins. It's delivering different ingredients, different premium ingredients to the skin to enhance the skin and just have an overall beautiful skin. So it is amazing. It is a beautiful machine. I've seen someone purchase a machine for $20,000 flat, but the machine comes in different prices. And those bottles you see here, you can fill them with different things of liquid ingredients that you want to really hit the skin. You will see this person's skin literally improve over a period of time, but you'll be able to see some immediate results. Okay. When it comes to um, scope of practice, making sure that the clients can take up mechanical and making sure your state says you can do mechanical. Tennessee right now doesn't have an issue with it as long as we're only touching the top part of the skin. Once we start dibbling dabbling into different layers of the skin, that is not our scope of practice. Okay. There are contraindications to using them. We'll continue to review, but we're looking at three different types of exfoliations. One is mechanical, that was the dermabrasion. Two is the chemical. The chemical exfoliating is a chemical peel. Chemical exfoliation is a chemical peel. Okay. And so you will start with learning about the pH scale. And most individuals that want chemical peels, like we are literally out of chemical peel season. When it starts to get warm and hot, you cannot do a chemical peel because that affects the skin. It already is programmed to remove top layers of the skin cells. And it stops with it doesn't stop at top layer. It goes deeper and softens those other skin layers and starts to work from the inside out. If you have that and you're going out into the sun, you're going to damage the process. Okay? Your skin could be burned. Like literally you have burn marks on your skin from the sun because you're in a very sensitive state. And so chemical peels are normally done in the fall and in the winter. Spring and summer, you do not do chemical peels. You're too late. Okay, you're too late. And if anyone's doing chemical peel in spring or summer, the clients is that's like insurance liability issue. The clients are subject to their skin having skin burns and scars, deep scars. Okay, because we're literally maneuvering. Their product is literally maneuvering in deeper skin layers of deeper skin. So you're stopping the process or harming the process through the overexposure of the sun. You're going to cause topical sunscreen issues. Sunscreen ain't going to work at that point, but sunburn issues. But you're going to have even more issues because you may have burns, severe burns, and you may have severe scarring as well that may penetrate down a couple of layers. So we have to be very careful when we're doing chemical peels, okay? Chemical peels have different ingredients such as lactic acid, salicylic acid. They are very aggressive peels, acid peels. Some people learn the process of neutralizing the skin to stop it in over 7 to 11 days. You have your skin peeling. When you see people walking around with just like feel like things just uh like an onion peel just hanging off their face, they're in the process of a chemical acid peel. Their skin is going to look amazing afterwards, okay? But I see a lot of people who are like trying to remove it themselves. You don't remove it themselves yourself. You could literally harm the process. You leave it there, okay? Any cell buildup, that chemical softens the skin and removes that cell buildup, okay? You have hydroxy acids, glycolic acids, lactic acid. And lactic acid is one of those lighter ones. When you think of lactate, milk, Milk does a body good and it really does the skin good too. So for those individuals starting out on acid pills, lactic acid would be one of those I would definitely use. And a lot of times we don't have products to treat hyperpigmentation. Like if you're saying it's just not doing anything, the last option I would choose would be a chemical peel, and it tells you here that lactic acid used to treat hyperpigmentation. So a lot of times you need the acid to go below the top layer of the skin, break up that melon cell that's dark, and then disperse it and bring that new skin up to the top that does not have that discoloration in it. And so you're going to need a lactic acid. And there are other acid pills that are stronger as well, but you got to make sure the skin can take it. BHAs, PHAs, and AHAs. Let me tell you, PHAs are normally used to help treat, or BHAs, beta hydroxy acids. They're used to treat acne. So many different forms of acne. And it really gets rid of the sebum. When you get rid of the sebum, you'll see the acne go away. But as long as that oil is there, it's going to continue causing an issue for acne. So you see people that have really bad skin, their last resort is say, okay, let me get a chemical peel, but don't get the wrong one. You get the beta hydroxy acid. Okay. Here's the thing with beta. We're gonna pick this back up tomorrow. We'll pick it back up tomorrow, and I want to go a little bit further. But when you see people saying kojic acid, like on TikTok, they're selling soaps that say kojic acid is a beta. Okay. Yes, it's great for helping with acne, bumps, pimples, all of that stuff, right? It's a beta. Turmeric is a beta also. Turmeric powder is a beta. You don't put two betas together because it's very aggressive on the skin. It could cause a skin burn. Okay? Activated charcoal is a beta also. So I please be cautious when you are seeing people talking. They selling soaps that have turmeric and kojic in it. You need to know that that's an explosion waiting to happen. No two betas go together at the same time because it's very harsh on the skin, even the toughest skin. If you're going to use betas, one should be used in the morning, one should be used at night. They're never together. All right? They're never together. I just wanted to share that with you. Y'all, we're going to pick back up on that tomorrow. Finish reading that chapter, and we're going to pick up tomorrow. We're going to pick back up tomorrow. I'm traveling, I'm headed back home. We'll pick back up tomorrow on enzymes and chemical peels. I have a presentation for you. This is being recorded, so if you missed it, the top of the class, go back to YouTube. I think I drop it in the group so you can look at it. But the study guide, y'all, was sitting over in my outbox. I didn't have storage to send it, and when I was sending it on my device, I guess something happened with the Wi-Fi. I didn't have it, but I will send it soon as I get back home, and I will be home soon. So I'm about to get ready to check out. Spring break is over, and I'm headed back. But we got much work to do. So I send, and I give you time to. I just run it back. I give you time to complete that midterm study guide. And so y'all have a blessed and amazing day. I will. I have another class at 1, and I think I have another class at 5:30. So I'll be on Zoom throughout the day. But as traveling, I won't be on my phone. So when I get back home to my office computer, I will send everything over. Y'all have a